just want to share a few important things, in particular where the gas stations were. We ended up stopping quite frequently because we weren't sure if we were going to make it to the next gas spot. We're towing, and we have this small little Tacoma that only has a 20-gallon tank on it. So we ended up stopping about every 90 to 160 miles. We also ran into an unexpected problem as well. We ended up picking up a magazine, a brochure on the way, and it's kind of interesting. Depending on which way it faces is the direction you're going. And so it's double-sided so that you would know where all the gas stations and campgrounds and things like that are, which is really helpful. But in it was this map. So Dawson Creek is the first place. That's a pretty big town. Here's Dawson's Creek. And then this one was, you said it was Pink Mountain?
Yep.
Right here we stopped at. And then Fort Nelson, we stopped here for gas. And this had a good IGA there. And then we stopped at this one, right?
No, we actually made it all the way to
Watson Lake. So we made it to Watson Lake. Then we made it to Teslin. And then we made it to Whitehorse. What was the one in the middle?
Then Haynes Junction.
Haynes Junction.
Then Cluane Lake. Then Beaver Creek.
So it was about 90 to 160 miles. So the longest one, which one the longest one?
Fort Nelson to Watson Lake.
Yeah. The problem that we ran into that we did not even think about when we went to Fort Nelson, there goes the wind. The power had went out and the gas station pumps were not working and we couldn't find gas. And so we wouldn't have been able to make it down this road without gas. And so we went to probably like 4 gas stations and we asked one of the attendants if any of them, the pumps would still be working or any stations in the town would be working. And fortunately we found a place that we could get gas at, but we never anticipated that the whole power would be out of the whole town. The IGA had a giant generator in there, so we were able to essentially get food and all. But by the time you get to it's over here, Destruction Bay, this is about towards the end. This is where the road kind of gets bouncy. And I thought once we got into Alaska, the road would be much better. Someone was telling my wife that the road was really smooth, and parts of it was not bad, but other parts were absolutely crazy because of the ice heaves and stuff. So the road was really like, I don't know what you call it, like swelly. Like it was like goes up like this and down. And that made it very challenging to driving the truck and the trailer. The last thing that we encountered that was a really frustrating was the construction. And I think it's great they're maintaining these roads. The roads are in really good shape, but they take a really long time to get through. And we had to wait through a whole bunch of construction right at the end of our trip. So we'd already been in the car for a very long time. So it was difficult to be patient, even though, you know, they're making the road passable for us, but it was hard to get through there. And then the other thing that you have to be aware of is that some people like to drive very, very slow. Some people drive very, very fast. We tried our best to be like in the middle, and towards the end, I did get a little less patient towards the end. I just wanted to get there, and I think a lot of people feel that way and end up going faster as they got towards the end of the trip. But getting around people was difficult in some sections.
Oh, there's a car coming in. We're gonna be able to make it.
Where's the car going? Oh, I can make it now, because there might be a car coming over. Or not.
You're good now. Go.
Damn, bro. People would move over and put their right blinker on to let you know to pass. And we were like, what are they doing? They're moving over and putting their other blinker. We thought we didn't know what they were doing.
It took us a while to figure that out. We thought there was a turn off or a pull off or they were getting off the road. Nope, they just were telling you could pass them. And they were not always doing that when it was safe for you to pass.
And then the other thing that was really difficult for us, because we have certain health conditions where you can only eat certain types of foods and things like that. So trying to find some place for us to eat was also challenging for us. So we ended up getting some good food, as I mentioned earlier, in Fort Nelson. But then after that, we were just relying on, protein shakes and such.